Good morning, boys and girls. I tried to zoom out as much as I could on today's video. I'm going to go over the review questions, and I really want you to not use my video unless you already completed it. So you're going to use the video if you got a question wrong or you were confused. So don't answer each question and follow along with my video. So what we're going to do here, it says compare the fractions given below by writing greater than, less than, or equal to. So we're going to, you could do the model method where you draw out 4/6 and draw out 9/12 and compare them. Personally, for me, I like to cross multiply because it's just faster. But you can do what works for you. So I know that 4 times 12 is 48. 6 times 9 is 54. So I know the bigger fraction is 9/12. And that would be answer B. Maybe I'll fill it in or something. Okay, let's keep moving. Our next question, compare the two fractions below. Explain your comparison. So again, I'm going to use the cross multiplying. And 5 times 12 is 60. 5 times 12 is 60. Now it says explain your comparison. So what I'm looking for here is for you to see that they're two different fractions, but they're equivalent. So it doesn't necessarily always matter about the numbers. It matters about the value. Okay, so that's what I want you to write, is something about how they're equivalent, although that they're different numbers. Sorry, the sun's shining and it makes it look a little different. So I wrote the two fractions are equivalent, although they have different numbers. So one's 5/5, one's 12/12, but they are both equal to each other. For this next one, again, you could do the cross multiplying to compare, but I'm going to show you how you can do the model method. So we have 7/8 and we're comparing it to 3/5. So what we're going to do is we're going to break apart this first model into 8 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to color in 7 of those. Excuse me. And then we'll break this one up into 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll color in 3 of them. And you'll see that 7/8 is greater. And then we could always just double check with our cross multiplying. 5 times 7 is 35. 8 times 3 is 24. Yes, 35 is greater than 24. So we know that 7/8 is bigger. Our next question says, Maria needs 9 3/4 yards of fabric for each costume. So here's one costume is 9 3/4. And how many yards of fabric does she need for 4 costumes? So we're going to have this 4 times, and we need to figure out how we can get to her total amount. Now, one thing I want you to remember is there's always multiple ways to solving a problem. So for example, one thing we could do is we could do repeated addition, and we can do 9 3/4 plus 9 3/4 plus 9 3/4 plus 9 3/4. Personally, for me, I'm going to do 9 3/4 times 4 because we're doing it 4 times. I'm just going to get a separate piece of paper because I'm kind of out of room here. So 9 3/4 times 4. We know we are multiplying by 4. Do we remember this from the other day, guys? And then we can go ahead and solve. So 9 and 4 is 36. Our fourth stays the same. 4 times 3 is 12. So our answer is 36 12/4. Now, we know we can't leave a fraction as an improper fraction, so we need to convert our improper fraction. So I like to take out 4, 8, 12. This is equal to 1 whole, this is equal to 1 whole, and this is equal to 1 whole. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Now, our answer is definitely not just 3. We have to go back up here to our number 36, our other whole number, and add them together. 36 plus 3 gives us a total product of 39. So make sure you finish that problem out and don't just leave what you converted. Make sure you do it all, okay? All right, guys. So our next question is find the product. Make sure to convert your answer to a mixed number. So we have 2 times 3 and 1/5. So what we do is 2 times 3, 2 times 1/5, and then we go ahead and multiply. 6. Sorry, I forgot the parentheses. So our denominator stays the same, and then 2 times 1 is 2. I add these together, giving me an answer of 6 and 2/5. Here we go. Our next question is adding fractions. I like to add my whole numbers together, and then I like to add my fractions together. Thank you, Alexander. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our whole numbers, which 6 plus 7 is 13. We look, and our denominators are the same, so they're going to stay the same. And then we add our numerators, which gives us 11. I would mark it wrong if you gave me an answer of 13 and 11/10. So we need to convert this 11/10 into a mixed number. So 1 and 1/10 is the same as 11/10. So we add that to 13. So now we have 14 and 1/10.